Let's start with number 7. Number 7. Zetai Karen Children. Picture this. You're a government agent tasked with babysitting 3 incredibly powerful psychic kids who could accidentally level a city block if they get too excited about ice cream. That's basically the premise of Zetai Karen Children, and it's as chaotic as it sounds. The show follows Minamoto, a poor guy who somehow got stuck managing 3 elementary school girls with off-the-charts psychic abilities. There's Kaoru, who can move things with her mind but has the temper of a honey badger. Shiho, who can see the future but is so shy she can barely order at McDonald's. And Aoi, who can teleport but somehow always ends up in the most awkward situations possible. What makes this anime special isn't just the cute factor. Though watching these kids accidentally destroy furniture while trying to help with chores is pretty hilarious. It's how the show explores the idea that having incredible power doesn't automatically make you mature enough to handle it. These kids are still kids, dealing with homework and crushes and wondering why adults are so weird, except they also happen to be walking weapons of mass destruction. The comedy comes from the disconnect between their godlike abilities and their very childlike personalities. Imagine trying to ground a kid who can literally teleport away from you, or explaining why it's not okay to read your teacher's mind during a test. It's like being a parent, but with the added stress of knowing your kid could accidentally erase you from existence if they have a bad day. This is Emiverse Anime. Watch this video to the end and hit that subscribe button now. Number 6. Witch Hunter Robin. Now let's shift gears completely. If the previous entry was about psychic powers being cute and chaotic, Witch Hunter Robin is about them being dark and dangerous. This show takes place in a world where people with supernatural abilities, called witches, are hunted down by a secretive organization. Robin is a young woman who works for this organization, using her own pyrokinetic abilities to capture other witches. But here's the twist that makes your brain do backflips. She gradually realizes that the line between hunter and hunted isn't as clear as she thought. The people she's been taught to see as dangerous criminals are often just scared individuals trying to live normal lives. What's brilliant about this anime is how it uses psychic powers as a metaphor for being different in a society that fears difference. Robin's journey from obedient hunter to questioning everything she's been taught feels incredibly relevant, especially in our current world, where people are constantly being told to fear those who are different from them. The show's gothic atmosphere and complex moral questions make it perfect for viewers who like their psychic powers served with a side of existential dread. It's like X-Men, but with more philosophical questions about whether having power makes you responsible for how others use that power against you. Number 5. Tadakao Shisho, The Book of Bantora. Here's an anime that takes psychic powers and throws them into a blender with philosophy, action, and one of the most unique premises I've ever seen. In this world, when people die, they become books that contain their memories and experiences. These books are stored in a massive library and guarded by people called armed librarians who have supernatural abilities. The main character, Hamyuts Maseta, is basically the head librarian from hell. She can manipulate the fundamental forces of reality, but she's also completely ruthless in protecting the library. The show explores what happens when immortal beings with godlike powers have to deal with the weight of preserving human knowledge and memories. What makes this anime fascinating is how it treats psychic abilities as both a blessing and a curse. The armed librarians are incredibly powerful, but they're also burdened with the responsibility of protecting humanity's collective memory. It's like being a superhero, but instead of saving cats from trees, you're preserving the entire essence of human civilization. The action scenes are absolutely insane. Imagine Dragon Ball Z, but with people who can rewrite the laws of physics on a whim. But beneath all the explosions and reality-bending fights, there's a deep exploration of what it means to be human and whether power corrupts absolutely. Number 4. Chrome-Shelled Regios. This one's for fans who like their psychic powers mixed with post-apocalyptic survival and giant monsters. Chrome-Shelled Regios is set in a world where humanity lives in mobile cities that constantly move across a contaminated wasteland, fighting off creatures called Limbeast. The main character, Leifon, is trying to hide his incredible combat abilities and live a normal student life. But of course, that's about as successful as trying to hide a nuclear explosion with a beach umbrella. The show combines psychic-like abilities called K with traditional combat skills, creating fight scenes that are part martial arts movie, part superhero showdown. What's interesting about this anime is how it explores the burden of being the strongest person in the room. Leifon doesn't want to fight, but his abilities make him essential for his city's survival. It's like being the only person in your friend group who can reach the top shelf. Everyone's constantly asking for help, even when you just want to mind your own business. The show also deals with the politics of power in a really interesting way. When you're strong enough to single-handedly save or destroy a city, every decision you make becomes a political statement. It's a level of responsibility that would make anyone want to hide under a blanket and pretend they're perfectly average. Number 3. The Troubled Life of Miss Kotura. This anime starts with what might be the most heartbreaking opening episode in anime history, then somehow manages to turn into a touching story about friendship and acceptance. Kotura has had telepathic abilities since she was a child, but instead of being a superpower, it's been a curse that's destroyed every relationship in her life. Think about it. Imagine being able to hear everyone's thoughts all the time. You'd know when your friends are lying to you, when your parents are fighting, when your teacher thinks you're annoying. It's like having the worst possible superpower for maintaining healthy relationships. The show follows Kotura as she tries to make friends for the first time in high school, while dealing with the trauma of a lifetime of being rejected and feared. What makes this anime special is how it treats psychic abilities as a disability rather than a gift. Kotura has to learn how to function in a world that wasn't designed for someone like her. The supporting characters are what really make this show shine. They don't treat Kotura like a freak or a weapon. They treat her like a person who happens to have a really inconvenient ability. It's a story about finding your tribe and learning that being different doesn't mean being alone. Number 2. The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. If you've ever wondered what it would be like to be the most powerful psychic in the world, but also have the personality of a very tired retail worker, then Psyche K is the anime for you. Psyche has every psychic power you can imagine. Telepathy, telekinesis, time travel, X-ray vision, you name it. The catch? He absolutely hates all of them. This anime is pure comedy gold. Psyche just wants to live a quiet, normal life, but his powers and the ridiculous people around him make that impossible. He can hear everyone's thoughts, which means he knows exactly how annoying everyone is all the time. He's basically living in a world where everyone else is the comic relief character, and he's the straight man who has to deal with their nonsense. The genius of this show is how it subverts every psychic power fantasy. Instead of using his abilities to become rich or famous, Psyche uses them to avoid human interaction as much as possible. He's like an introverted god who just wants people to leave him alone so he can eat coffee jelly in peace. The humor comes from the disconnect between Psyche's incredible abilities and his very mundane problems. He can literally move mountains, but he can't figure out how to avoid his classmates' birthday parties without seeming rude. It's relatable in the most ridiculous way possible. Number 1. Mob Psycho 100. And finally, we reach number 1. Mob Psycho 100. This anime takes everything that makes psychic power stories compelling and cranks it up to 11. Mob is an incredibly powerful psychic who's trying to live a normal middle school life while dealing with emotions that could literally explode buildings. What makes this anime the best psychic power story ever told is how it uses supernatural abilities to explore very real themes about growing up, self-acceptance, and the importance of human connection. Mob's powers are directly tied to his emotional state, which means every teenage mood swing could potentially level a city block. The show's message is incredibly profound. No matter how special or powerful you are, what matters most is how you treat other people and how you grow as a person. Mob's journey from a scared, repressed kid to someone who can express his emotions in healthy ways is one of the most satisfying character arcs in anime. The animation is absolutely stunning, with fight scenes that look like someone threw a rainbow into a blender with pure energy. But the real magic happens in the quiet moments between the explosions, when Mob is just trying to figure out how to ask a girl to dance, or whether he should join the school club. So there you have it. 7 anime that prove psychic powers aren't just about moving things with your mind or reading thoughts. They're about the very human experience of being different, dealing with power and responsibility, and finding your place in a world that doesn't always understand you. Whether you want comedy, drama, action, or philosophy, there's a psychic power anime out there that'll blow your mind. Hopefully,